Candy Walters. I'm with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. I have been doing basically environmental public affairs for the past 15 years with the Corps. Most notably, I work with the formerly used Defense Sites program, of which a very prominent example is here in town, Spring Valley. I'm sure that most of you have heard about it. Actually, we're the good guys in this. We come in and we try to clean up the contamination. But I think the best example is the fact that I've been working with our FUDS project managers for a number of years to teach them the value of public participation, that it's not just following CERCLA, but going beyond the law and trying to really listen to the people in the communities to see what they can provide and help you with. And when that aha moment goes, appears in the project manager's eyes or mind, that to me is great satisfaction, and I'm very proud of that. And I'd like to very quickly mention another example, something that many of you may not know about, but if you've ever been to the Brownfields conferences in the past few years, you've seen a booth called Vision to Action, in which the Corps people have been working with local communities to have them draw a vision of what they want their communities to look like in the future. And we started small at the Brownfields conferences, having a few people each year, and now we're getting people coming back 2 and 3 years later and saying, hey, as a result of this, our community has done this. And we've gone several other places in Florida, in North Carolina, and people are now starting to get grants as a result of these Vision to Action workshops. So this is very good and positive. Thank you.
Affairs, I'm a consultant. We were invited to attend this meeting based on a presentation that was given at our executive colleagues meeting. I have 22 years of federal government, and before you start doing the math, I'm closer to 50 than I am to 20. So I always get there when I put that out there. But the VA is very committed to care of our veterans, and our new Secretary, General Erickson Shecky, is transforming the VA for the 21st century. You've probably heard that term many times. And we can only benefit from what we learned here today. So if I don't talk a lot, it's because I'm writing more. And it's a pleasure to be here again. Thank you.
Sure. My name is Donna Parson. I was introduced earlier by Carolyn. I'm with Demos, one of the hosts of this meeting. My own background is working with civic participation organizations on a statewide, regional, and national basis. I started as an organizer, just like the president did. The example that I would raise is the example that actually brought me into this kind of work, which was a huge construction project of an interstate highway. Back in the 70s and 80s. It played out over a decade. It involved at least half of the organizations, agencies that are sitting in this room. We didn't have any dispute experts, but we could use them. I think the thing that I learned from that, from my perch, from where I was sitting, was that when people care about an issue, and it affects the quality of their life, and they feel like they have influence, that they will give of their time and give of their resources to participate in the decisions that affect their lives.
Thank you, Donna. I'm going to move up here so as not to have my back to Bernice Steinhardt. I'm with the Government Accountability Office. I head a group that looks at government-wide management issues and government performance. And of late, we've had a particular, well, I would say over the last few years, we've had a particular focus on collaboration, particularly among federal agencies, intra-governmental, but federal agencies and other levels of government and non-government organizations as well. So I can tell you that based on work we did a few years ago in which we were looking for good models of collaboration within the federal government, we were hard put to find more than a handful. So I'm very interested in any lessons I might learn here this evening. My own personal experience with public participation actually goes back many years. At the beginning of my career in government, I worked in public participation programs at the Interior Department and the Council on Environmental Quality. And I notice, and I find it interesting, that so much of the public participation programs that we're talking about this evening have to do with environmental protection and land management issues. That in itself, I think, is revealing, suggests a role for other agencies outside of those realms. My most memorable experience, I would say, was in Alaska when I was working with CEQ, and we went up to Alaska to hear from citizens about Alaska lands decisions and at that time decisions about routes for a gas pipeline. And what moved me most about the experience, and I've been involved in other programs on other issues, but what moved me most about the experience was the fact that citizens were able to speak directly to decision makers and to speak from the heart in a way that really compelled decision makers to change their minds. And I think for all of us, the challenge is to create the means to do that, to have that kind of heartfelt connection.